Emma was 23 years old. She lived in a small city called Brookville, but she wanted to move somewhere new. She wanted adventure, freedom, and a life full of new experiences. Every day in Brookville was similar. She went to work in a small library, returned home, and spent the evening reading books or watching TV. Life was calm, safe, and predictable, but Emma wanted more. One morning, she received a letter. The envelope was thick and the handwriting was elegant. She opened it carefully. Inside, there was a message. Dear Emma, we are pleased to invite you to Greenfield Academy. You have been selected for a special program that will develop your skills, your courage, and your knowledge. Please arrive in Greenfield before August 1st. Sincerely, Mr. Harrison, Director of Greenfield Academy. Emma read the letter several times. Her heart was racing. She had never expected something like this. A special program? Greenfield Academy? This is my chance, she said aloud. She told her parents, Mom, Dad, I want to go to Greenfield. It is an opportunity I cannot miss. Her mother looked worried. Emma, it is far from home. Are you sure you want to leave? Yes, Mom. I will be careful. I promise to call you every day. Her father nodded. If this is what you want, we support you. But remember, life in a new place can be challenging. Emma started preparing. She packed her clothes, books, and small personal items. She even packed a small notebook to write about her experiences. She felt nervous but excited. For the first time, she felt a sense of true adventure. 2 days later, she took a train to Greenfield. The city behind her became smaller as she moved through hills, forests, and fields. She saw rivers, small towns, and animals along the way. The train ride lasted several hours. She watched the landscape carefully, feeling a mixture of excitement and fear. When she arrived at Greenfield, she saw a town surrounded by forests and hills. The streets were clean, and small houses were painted in bright colors. Children played outside, and adults walked slowly. Everything looked peaceful. A man in a green uniform approached her. He was tall, with dark hair and glasses. Hello, you must be Emma. I am Mr. Harrison. Welcome to Greenfield Academy. We are very happy to have you here. Emma smiled nervously. Thank you. I am happy to be here. He guided her to the academy. The building was large and old, made of stone and wood. The garden around it was beautiful. Flowers of many colors were everywhere. Birds sang in the trees. Emma felt calm, but also curious. She wanted to explore everything. Her room was small but comfortable. There was a bed, a desk, a chair, and a small wardrobe. From the window, she could see the forest and the hills beyond. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The first day at the academy was full of introductions. Emma met other students from different cities. Some were friendly, some shy. The teachers explained the rules and schedules. There were classes in writing, science, art, and survival skills. Everything seemed new and interesting. Emma felt happy but tired. After the first day, she walked in the garden. The sunset painted the sky with orange and purple colors. The birds returned to the trees. She sat on a bench and thought about the journey ahead. Tomorrow will be the first challenge, she said to herself. I need to be ready. That night, she wrote in her notebook. She wrote about her family, her hometown, and her dreams. She wrote about the forest outside and the academy. She felt that this place would change her life forever. The morning sun shone through Emma's window. She woke up early, feeling both nervous and excited. Today was the day of her first challenge at Greenfield Academy. She had packed her bag carefully: notebooks, pens, water, snacks, and a small compass she brought from home. She wanted to be prepared for anything. Emma walked through the long corridors of the academy. The walls were decorated with paintings of past students, forests, and maps of Greenfield. She met some of her classmates along the way. They were chatting about their expectations for the day. "Are you ready for the challenge?" asked a boy named Daniel, who looked about her age. I think so, Emma replied. I'm a little nervous, but excited too. Daniel smiled. Me too. I heard the first challenge will take us into the forest behind the academy. We have to find a specific location and solve puzzles along the way. Emma's heart started to beat faster. A forest adventure? This was exactly the kind of experience she had wanted. The students gathered in the courtyard. Mr. Harrison, the director, was standing in front of them. His voice was calm but strong. "Good morning, students," he said. "Today you will begin your first challenge. This is not a test of strength, but of observation, teamwork, and courage. You will go into the forest and find the hidden marker. Use your skills, help each other, and remember, think carefully before making any decision. Are you ready?" "Yes, sir," the students replied together. Emma felt a mixture of excitement and fear. She followed Daniel and a small group of students toward the edge of the forest. The trees were tall and thick. Sunlight barely reached the ground. Birds sang quietly, and small animals moved in the shadows. The first part of the challenge was a map-reading exercise. Each group received a map showing a path through the forest. They had to identify landmarks and follow clues. Emma studied the map carefully. "The first landmark is the old oak tree," she said to Daniel. "It's about 500 meters from here. I think we should go straight but stay close to the river. The map shows a small stream nearby." Daniel nodded. "Good idea. Let's lead the group." They walked carefully. The forest floor was covered with leaves and small branches. Every step made a soft sound. Emma felt alert. She noticed small animals running between the trees and birds flying above. After a few minutes, they found the old oak tree. Its trunk was wide and strong. Emma could see carvings on the bark from previous students. "Guess must be it," whispered Emma. "Look for the next clue." They searched carefully. Behind the tree, there was a small box hidden under leaves. Emma opened it. Inside, there was a riddle. "To continue your path, look where water flows and shadows meet. Count the stones and follow the smallest stream to your next challenge." Emma read the riddle aloud. "We need to find a stream where shadows meet, then count the stones and follow the smallest stream." Daniel looked thoughtful. "This is tricky, but I think we can do it." The group walked deeper into the forest. The sunlight became dimmer, the trees were taller, and the forest felt alive. Every sound, every movement made them careful. After some time, they found a small stream. Emma counted the stones as the riddle instructed. They followed the smallest stream carefully. The path was slippery. Water ran quickly. Rocks were wet. "Watch your step," Emma shouted as Daniel slipped slightly on a rock. She grabbed his hand. "Thanks," he said, smiling. "You are quick and careful." Emma felt proud. She realized teamwork was very important in this challenge. Alone, she might not have succeeded. Together, they could face any difficulty. As they continued, the forest became denser. Small branches scratched their clothes. Insects flew around. Emma felt tired but determined. Finally, they reached a clearing. In the middle, there was a large stone with another clue. Emma read it aloud. "To find the final marker, look where the sun touches the tallest tree at noon. Patience and observation will guide you." The group looked around. The tallest tree was far, and the sun was still low in the sky. They waited quietly, watching carefully. Birds moved, leaves rustled, and the shadows slowly changed. Emma noticed a small trail leading from the base of the tallest tree. She pointed it out to the group. "Look, there's a trail. The shadow is moving toward that. That must be the next step." They walked carefully to the tree. At the base, they found a small wooden box. Inside was a key and a note. "Congratulations, you have completed the first challenge. This key will open a special room in the academy.
Be proud, but remember, challenges will become more difficult as you progress. Use courage, wisdom, and teamwork. Emma held the key tightly. She felt proud and happy. She looked at Daniel and smiled. "We did it. We finished the challenge." "Yes," Daniel said. "It was hard, but we did it together. I feel stronger and braver." The students returned to the academy. The teachers congratulated them. Emma felt tired but excited. The forest had been challenging, but she learned many things: careful observation, teamwork, courage, and patience. That evening, Emma wrote in her notebook. She described every step of the challenge, every riddle, and every moment in the forest. She realized that this journey would change her. As she looked out the window, the sun was setting behind the hills. The forest looked peaceful, but Emma knew that the next challenge would be even more difficult. She felt ready. "Tomorrow," she said softly, "I will be braver. I will face any challenge, and I will grow." The next morning, Emma woke up early. Sunlight filtered through her window, and she could hear birds singing outside. Today, the students were assigned to explore a secret part of Greenfield Academy, the hidden library. Emma was curious and excited. She had always loved books, and the idea of a hidden library filled her with anticipation. She packed her bag carefully, taking a notebook, pens, water, and a small flashlight. She also brought the key from the first challenge. Perhaps it would help her later. In the courtyard, students gathered. Mr. Harrison stood in front of them. His expression was serious but kind. "Good morning, students," he said. "Today you will discover the hidden library of Greenfield Academy. It is not an ordinary library. It contains rare books, maps, and secrets from the past. To find it, you must use observation, teamwork, and problem-solving skills. Each group will receive a riddle. Solve it carefully to find the entrance. Remember, this is not a race. Accuracy and attention to detail are more important than speed." Emma looked at her group members. Daniel smiled at her. "Ready for another adventure?" he asked. "Yes," Emma said. "Let's find this library." Their group received the first riddle. It was written on old parchment and smelled faintly of paper and dust. Emma read it aloud. "Where the tallest tower meets the morning sun, look beneath the stone that does not belong. The path will open to those who notice carefully." Emma and Daniel studied the academy. They looked at the towers, the gardens, and the paths. After a few minutes, Emma pointed to a small stone near the tallest tower. "That stone looks different," she said. "It is lighter than the others. Maybe it is the one the riddle mentioned." Daniel nodded. "Good observation. Let's try it." They lifted the stone carefully. Underneath, there was a small iron keyhole. Emma inserted the key from the first challenge. To their surprise, it fit perfectly. With a click, a hidden door slowly opened, revealing a dark passage leading underground. The students exchanged amazed looks. They stepped carefully into the passage. The air was cool and damp. Small torches lit the walls, and old dust covered the floor. Emma felt a mixture of excitement and fear. "Be careful," Daniel whispered. "We don't know what's inside." They walked slowly. The passage was narrow and twisted. Emma noticed strange carvings on the walls, symbols, letters, and drawings of animals. She tried to understand them, but they were unfamiliar. After several minutes, they reached a larger room. The hidden library was enormous. Shelves reached the ceiling, filled with old books, scrolls, and manuscripts. Some books were bound in leather, others in cloth. Candles flickered on tables, casting shadows on the walls. The air smelled of old paper, dust, and ink. Emma's eyes widened. "This is incredible," she said softly. "I have never seen so many books in one place." Daniel nodded. "It is amazing. We must explore carefully. Some books might be fragile or magical." They split into small groups, examining the shelves. Emma picked up a book about local legends. She read quietly. "Long ago, Greenfield was surrounded by forests and hills. The academy was founded to protect knowledge, secrets, and the wisdom of generations. Many students have discovered hidden truths here, but only those who are brave, clever, and patient can unlock them. Emma felt inspired. She looked at Daniel. This library is more than books. It is a place of learning, adventure, and history. I want to discover it all. Daniel smiled. Me too, but let's not rush. We need to solve the next riddle to find the final part of the library. The group found another riddle hidden in a drawer. The path to knowledge lies where shadows fall longest. Count the steps carefully, and the third shelf from the left will reveal the secret. Emma and Daniel led the group through the dimly lit library. They counted the steps, watched the shadows, and reached the indicated shelf. Emma pulled a thick book. Suddenly, the shelf moved, revealing a hidden room. Inside, they found rare manuscripts, old maps, and strange objects. Some objects looked like tools, others like magical artifacts. Emma felt both amazed and cautious. "This is incredible," she whispered. "We found a secret room." Daniel nodded. "Yes, but remember, Mr. Harrison said accuracy and careful observation are more important than speed." The group spent several hours exploring the hidden library. They documented what they found, took notes, and discussed the history and possible use of the objects. Emma felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. When they finished, they returned to the main library. Mr. Harrison was waiting. He smiled. "Congratulations," he said. "You have completed the second challenge. You demonstrated courage, patience, teamwork, and careful observation. This hidden library will help you learn not only about knowledge, but also about yourself. Remember, the most important discoveries are not only in the books, but also in your actions and decisions." Emma felt proud. She realized that every challenge at Greenfield Academy was teaching her something important. The forest taught her courage and observation. The library taught her patience and discovery. That evening, Emma wrote in her notebook about the hidden library, the riddles, and her feelings. She understood that her journey was just beginning. Many more challenges, secrets, and adventures awaited her at Greenfield Academy. As she looked out the window, the stars were bright in the clear sky. She felt excitement, hope, and determination. The academy was not just a school, it was a place where she could grow, learn, and discover who she truly was.
The next morning, Emma woke up before sunrise. The soft light of dawn filled her room, and she could hear birds singing outside. Today, the academy had prepared a new challenge for the students. They would explore the hidden areas of Greenfield, guided only by a mysterious map. Emma felt excited, but also slightly nervous. She packed her backpack with essentials: notebook, pens, water, snacks, a flashlight, and the key from the first challenge. She also brought a small compass, remembering the lessons from the forest challenge. Emma wanted to be fully prepared. In the courtyard, the students gathered. Mr. Harrison stood in front of them, holding a folded piece of parchment. "Good morning, students," he said. "Today's challenge is unique. You will explore parts of Greenfield Academy that have never been fully mapped. Each group will receive a mysterious map. Your task is to follow the map, solve the clues, and discover the final location. Remember, observation, teamwork, and patience are key. Accuracy is more important than speed." Emma's heart raced. She loved puzzles and adventures. This challenge sounded perfect. Her group received the map. It was old, yellowed, and fragile. Lines and symbols covered it, showing forests, buildings, and paths that seemed unfamiliar. There were also strange marks, numbers, and notes written in small letters. "This is exciting," Emma whispered. "It looks complicated, but we can solve it together." Daniel looked at the map carefully. "Yes, the first clue seems to be near the East Tower. It mentions, 'Follow the shadow of the highest tree.'" Emma nodded. Let's go slowly. We need to observe everything carefully. The map may have hidden symbols we don't see immediately. The group left the courtyard and headed toward the East Tower. The morning air was fresh and cool. Trees moved gently in the wind, and birds sang as if guiding them. Emma felt alert, noticing every detail, patterns in the leaves, colors of flowers, and the movement of animals. They reached the tower. Sunlight touched the tallest tree near it. Shadows stretched across the grass. Emma carefully observed the shadow and pointed to a small stone path that led to the base of the tree. "This must be it," she said. "The shadow points to this path." Daniel nodded. "Good observation. Let's follow it carefully." The group walked along the path. It was narrow and slightly slippery from morning dew. Small streams crossed the path. Emma helped Daniel over a wet stone, and he smiled in gratitude. They continued, step by step, observing the surroundings. After a while, they reached a small clearing. In the middle, there was a stone pedestal. On top of it lay another clue. The key to knowledge lies where water reflects the sky. Count the stones, follow the tallest plant, and the next path will appear. Emma read the clue aloud. We need to find water that reflects the sky, count stones, and follow the tallest plant. Daniel looked around. There's a small pond over there. The water is calm and clear. The reflection of the sky is perfect. They walked carefully to the pond. Emma counted the stones around the edge. 1, 2, 3, until she reached the last one. Behind the tallest plant, a small path appeared, partially hidden by bushes. "This must be the path," Emma whispered. "It is hidden, but it leads somewhere." The group followed the narrow path. The forest became denser. Sunlight barely reached the ground. Branches brushed their clothes, and small animals moved quickly between trees. Emma felt a mixture of fear and excitement. After walking for several minutes, they found a small wooden door built into the side of a hill. The door was old and covered in moss. There was no handle, but a small keyhole was visible. Emma remembered the key from the first challenge. Maybe this key will open it. She carefully inserted the key. With a click, the door slowly opened, revealing a hidden staircase leading down. The air was cool and damp. They descended carefully. The walls were covered with strange carvings, symbols, letters, and drawings of plants and animals. Emma tried to understand them. They looked like a mixture of history and magic. At the bottom, they entered a large underground room. The room was filled with books, maps, and old instruments. Some looked scientific, others artistic. Candles flickered, casting shadows on the walls. The air smelled of old paper, ink, and earth. Emma's eyes widened. This place is incredible. I have never seen anything like it. Daniel nodded. It is amazing, but let's explore carefully. Some things might be fragile or dangerous. They examined the room slowly. Maps of forests, mountains, and rivers were pinned on the walls. Some books were bound in leather, others in cloth. Strange devices rested on tables, their purpose unclear. Emma took careful notes in her notebook. After several hours, they found another clue hidden in a drawer. The final location is where earth, water, and sky meet. Patience, courage, and observation will guide you. The group studied the clue. Emma thought carefully. Earth, water, and sky, that must be the lake near the academy, the place where the forest ends and the water begins. Daniel agreed. Yes, we need to go there carefully and observe everything around us. They exited the hidden room and walked back to the surface. The forest outside was calm but alive. Birds sang, insects moved, and the sunlight reflected on the dew-covered leaves. Emma felt proud.
She had learned patience, observation, and teamwork. That evening, she wrote in her notebook. She described every step of the challenge, the map, the hidden path, and the underground room. She knew that the journey at Greenfield Academy was just beginning, and that more adventures, mysteries, and challenges awaited her. As she looked out the window at the sunset, she whispered to herself, "Tomorrow will bring new challenges, and I will face them with courage, wisdom, and determination."